all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. What keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. Yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. You got me like, oh yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. Hey, it's too late to try to go contain it. A generation fueled by creation. We live lives on a small screen nation. We control the airwaves, no negotiation. I refuse to think we need saving. Something good will come from creation. And when we think that the world is too anxious, we'll adapt, evolve, survive, and save it. What keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. What keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. Yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. You got me like, oh yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. Hey, oh yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. You got me like, oh yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong.
Hello everybody, and welcome to the fourth and final round of the Twisted Imagination Tour. I'm Cody Swanson, and I am back with Blizzard. Say hi, Blizzard.
Howdy, hey.
So today we are here at Sveg Raceway. This is going to be a very long circuit and a very tricky weather condition. We're going to be running in the snow today. It's going to be minus 9 degrees Celsius. And as you can see, right now we've got quite a bit of fog for practice, which some drivers are having fun with in the pits.
I mean, I guess it is winter, so it does make sense that it would be snowing.
That's very true. Sveg Raceway is a fictional circuit theoretically based out of Sweden. So let's take a look. Here we are. So it's a very long circuit. Each track has been getting longer and longer as we've gone through the Twisted Imagination Tour, and this one is 8,000 meters. It's quite a long lap. We will be getting underway soon with qualifying. We started a little bit early for you guys today. So let's go on ahead and take you through the points. So in first place so far in the driver's standings, we have Jeremy Mercer. For Vroom Car Drive, he's got 166 points going into this race. James Leader is close behind him, 159 points. And Peter O'Brien close behind him with 151 points. They're all very much in the running for the win today.
Absolutely. It's definitely going to be interesting, especially these weather conditions, just to see who ends up on top, you know? It's just going to be safe driving today. Hopefully we don't see too many spins, too many crashes.
It's going to be a lot of cold tires.
Right.
This one. So if you are very familiar with Sveg Raceway, I know it's a very popular one in Assetto Corsa. And you've driven these Corvettes around here, and you go, oh, well, I could get a faster lap time than that. I've gotten a faster lap time than that. Probably, but have you done it in -9 degrees?
Most likely, no.
Probably not. So it's going to be a very interesting challenge for our drivers. All of the track's weather has been quite fair so far. So this time around, we're really throwing weather as an interesting element to contend with, in addition to the track. Here in practice with the fog, they could only see about as far as we're seeing now. And so that results in, very low visibility. A lot of these drivers will not have a way to really practice right before, because they'll be, just messing around in fog. And so right now, as they're getting out for qualifying, is going to be the first time since, earlier today for some of them that they have seen this track. Blizzard, I saw you took a few spins around the track. Tell us about it.
Did. Like you said, very long circuit. Absolutely a fun one, though. It has a lot of these just right and left angles, just 90 degrees. Honestly, a lot of these corners reminded me, funny enough, of Baku from Formula One. Another fun track. But a bit more open than Baku, obviously, as Baku being a street circuit in Azerbaijan. But this track is definitely very fast, too. A lot of long straights, winding corners. It's going to be interesting to see, especially like you said with the weather. It's going to be very interesting. And I'm not sure how everyone's going to do, to be honest. I guess we'll find out soon.
Find out we shall. A lot of drivers will, wait until the other driver goes out before they do their qualifying. Not the case right now. You saw a lot of drivers just absolutely jump on the opportunity to get going. Do you think that might be because of the draft, where they can get in behind each other and get a quick qualifying lap, drafting on that very long straight that they just finished up?
Oh, definitely. I think some people are definitely going to go for that strategy. I think a lot of people also are just trying to get more runtime in, They want to maximize the amount of knowledge of the circuit, especially in these kind of conditions, is really important, honestly, and it's definitely crucial for your not only your qualifying, but for your race.
Absolutely. Oh, Nico Medina goes off. Looks like Robbins sliding as well. Yeah, Robbins goes back to the pits.
Mm-hmm.
Carson Schultz looking strong in the Heinz tomato ketchup livery. I'm going to miss that. This being the last race in the championship, it is a little bit bittersweet, but of course Plebeian Racing will have more wonderful events coming up in the near future. I believe there's a Praga Cup. So
right.
If you're watching and you want to get involved and you sort of missed out on this championship, hop in the Discord and sign up for the Praga Cup.
Jump on that one now, too, because that one's starting to get really full. I think there's only 1 or 2 slots open left for that one. So very good field, hopefully. A lot of people coming out. We're starting to grow the community, and we love seeing that.
Absolutely. Here we have James Leader, just finished up his first lap. 3:03.636 is the time to beat. James Leader second in the championship standings with 159 points going into the last of this series. I want to call it a season, but 4 races feels a little generous to call it a season, but we'll call it a series.
Everyone being very cautious with their outlaps right now. Trying to just, like I said, maximize these times, trying not to spin.
Yeah, remember that -9 degrees Celsius. It doesn't quite look it, but these cars are running on very cold weather. Snow around is what the server weather is set to. So Sveg is an interesting track. A lot of the fantasy tracks that you see in Assetto Corsa are just generally based on a real life area, or they might have, you know, a real area inspired. Sveg actually takes, I can't remember if it's LiDAR data or not, but it takes the real topography of a place outside of Svegsund, which is a lake. And so the track carves through the real typography, as if the track was actually there. All the trees, all the water that you see, all of that is in a real location. You could go there. There would not be a racetrack there. However, it would be very, very cold if you were to go there now, and that's what these drivers are contending with. Carson Schultz just did a 2-minute 40-second, .229.
There we go. Tires starting to warm up a little bit.
Indeed, starting to get those flying laps.
Bit of a slide. Still making it through though.
This championship has been quite a fun one, exploring a lot of tracks that we don't usually get to see so much of in online competition. Usually it's the offline AI stuff for this, and so it's really fun to be able to get all these drivers together. 18 drivers on the grid for this race. 18 drivers together, and really, really push these tracks to their limits. Oh, Carson Schultz decided he didn't like that lap so much. Let's take a look at James Leader, coming in from the very long straight. Third in qualifying so far. We're about halfway through it. The 2-minute 46.895. He's going to try to beat that. Somebody who kind of came out of nowhere, Jordan White, in that white and black anime liveried car. That one that you see on your screen behind James Leader. He's second place in qualifying so far. He showed up midway through, had a fairly, mediocre run in the last race, but he's living it up in the cold, man.
Really stepping up to the plate here. I love to see it.
Absolutely. He does not have a spot on the podium for the championship, but he might be able to get a spot in the race if he keeps driving like that. Spot on the podium at the end of the race, I mean, yeah. Let's see, an onboard lap will take you around the circuit. This is onboard James Leader. Oh, looks like maybe not. So, let's switch over to White, coming through turn 1 right now. And then he dives down into turn 2. This is a narrower circuit than the previous 2. This one's 10 meters wide, and you can see it. It looks like a wide 2-lane road that goes over this bridge here, which I believe sort of set the sizing for the rest of the track design.
Good braking, just letting the car roll through that corner. Lovely there.
Turn 4, you can really see with the past 2 corners and this corner, a lot of those 90 and near 90 degree bends. A lot of square rights, square lefts. Here we are coming up on 1 more, and then there will be 2 more after that. And this is the longest stretch. This is over the bridge. Got to be very careful not to hit the edges there. They will jump out at you. And then you would be ping-ponging from one end to the other as your car got destroyed. Coming around. Another square turn.
Got to be really careful coming in this turn. I had a lot of lockups here. It was really hard braking.
Yeah, this one sort of fakes you out because you're turning tighter than you have been on the previous corners.
Right.
But it sort of starts off like the other ones, but then tightens. It's a little bit deceptive.
Very deceptive.
And grip is very, very low in the track conditions today, as we mentioned, -9 degrees. But the drivers seem to be faring pretty well out there.
Yeah, not doing too bad. Like I said, Schultz was at 242. I mean, that's better than what we were seeing in practice, you know, with, I know it was foggy, but even still, that's a pretty good time. So let's see if anyone else can get to that point, or if it's just going to be a Schultz day.
Let's see, here we have Jason Chamberlain coming around for a new lap. Previous one was a 2-minute 46.181, and it looks like he doesn't beat it. Three minutes left of qualifying, and then we'll have a short break before we go racing proper.
O'Brien coming in setting a 241.4. Not bad. Putting him in second place for now.
Indeed, knocking leader down one. O'Brien third in the championship. Leader second. And Mercer. Where's Mercer today? Jeremy Mercer. I don't see him on the grid.
Right.
Mercer,
I didn't even see that.
Current leader in the championship, is absent from the final race.
Really unfortunate. He's been driving really well this series.
Yeah, it would be great to see him contend with the other two, but it looks like James Leader, Peter O'Brien, and that might open the door for Jeffrey Bray to come into it. He's sitting a bit further down. He's got 129 points, sitting in fourth. Oh, Jason Chamberlain having a moment there.
Was able to keep it out of the way, though.
Indeed. Let's take a look at Peter O'Brien. So they come around with how long these laps are. 2 minutes 40 seconds, 45 seconds thereabout, depending on the driver.
Bowmeister with a 39.
Whoa! There we go.
That's what we like to see.
Absolutely. Wow.
Really flinging it through these corners.
He took his sweet time getting up to speed. He was sitting with a 7-minute lap as his best on the board up until that one. And there you go. I was thinking Bowmeister was having an off day. Might not be putting in a time, or might just phone it in.
Sandbagging.
Maybe. But lo and behold, there he is.
Really pushing the car. Lovely to see.
Absolutely.
Great driving.
Bray also got a decent lap in and has pushed leader down into fifth in qualifying, so that's going to be 3 rows back for leader unless he can really, really knock one out this time around. Bowmeister, he did a 2-minute 39.916 on the last lap. Maybe he cooked it, maybe he didn't. He'll have only this lap more to best that. And perhaps more interestingly, we'll see if James Leader can improve and get onto the second or maybe the first row again.
Alright, doesn't look like he's on too bad of a lap right now. Let's see if he can finish it up going into the second sector here.
James Leader was up on his first sector, but his second sector was slower.
Plenty of track to make that up, though.
Actually, no, I was taking a look
Really
at his
pushing.
previous lap. Never mind. He's through the second sector right now.
Good exit onto the straight.
Absolutely, that's very, very important to carry a lot of speed through the straights. Any mistake that you make on these corners, all these square rights and square lefts, they will be compounded over the long straights. So early braking, early apex, so that you can carry more speed through these long, long straights. Also, the gearing is going to be higher, so the acceleration out of the corners not quite as intense as you might have seen on like Bay Raceway, for example. But we will be reaching some pretty wild top speeds, especially during pack racing, where they're able to catch a little bit of a draft off of each other.
Definitely, I think overall, through the whole lap is just a very fast track. Really only slowing down for these right-handers, and everything else you're just flowing through, or you know, it's straight or something similar to a straight. So overall average speed is pretty high on this track.
Indeed, you can see it in kilometers at the bottom of your screen. Slowing down on that corner, the slowest he went there was 100 kilometers an hour. That's 60 miles an hour in metric. So highway cruising speed for some states is how slow they get when they're turning. Here we are, 230 kilometers an hour through the front stretch. Finish out his lap. That was a 2-minute 40.661. James Leader takes third place in qualifying.
Not a bad improvement.
Let's take a look at Daniel Taberner, the last driver on the track as we finish up qualifying. So as soon as he finishes his flying lap, we will start the process to get on the grid and go racing.
Beautiful weather for racing.
Yeah, have your jackets ready. It's a snowy Swedish day. Here we go, final corner. Whoa! Taberner slides it around. Not how he wanted to finish out qualifying. Looks like he will take 8th.
Not bad, not bad.
Indeed. Dave Martin somehow got back out on the grid. One of your race organizers here. I don't know how he managed that, but...
Shh, we won't tell anyone.
Guess not. Uh-oh. Ooh.
Oh, never mind.
The paint marks left on the walls might give him away. But Dave Martin sitting in 6th place in qualifying so far. In points, Martin is 10th place out of 20. So
Not bad.
sitting solidly in the middle, and he's doing about mid-pack pace in quali.
Which is crazy to me because he's 10 times faster than I am. So that really just shows the speed of these guys.
Absolutely. I wouldn't want to, go up against Bowmeister in a dark alley. I'll just say that.
I'd agree.
Some of these guys are absolute beasts. I do want to mention Carson Schultz. He had really shown. Yeah, there you go. He had really shown in the first round at Bay Raceway. Carried a good position of 3rd place, and he's been kind of struggling a little bit in the last few to really match that.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Yeah, he DNF'd in round 2. Round 3 I don't have off the top of my head, but it was not a particularly noteworthy finish. But he's qualified 2nd here at Sveg, so I think this might be one that he's a bit more practiced in, a bit more comfortable with, a bit more familiar with maybe. And we'll have to take a look at Carson Schultz. Keep an eye out.
The comeback story.
Absolutely. Sitting at 90 for points right now, so mathematically he is out of the championship, but he's sitting in 8th.
A race win is a race win.
Yeah, a race win is a race win. He's sitting in 8th. It is possible for him to crack the top 5 if he were to get a very good position, and if Patterson and Bowmeister had absolutely terrible races. So, it's on the table. I'm not saying it's likely, but it's on the table. Schultz knows that, and as you can see, he's putting in the work today.
I mean, hey, we've seen crazier stuff this championship series.
Absolutely. As we go into the night, it's time to go racing. Got the track lights out on the home stretch, but this entire track is not lit all the way around. We'll be relying on the driver's headlights, as will the drivers. That's another thing that's important to note is in Assetto Corsa, if you crash your front end hard enough, you can lose your headlights with custom shaders patch, which the server is running. So these drivers will want to avoid major incidents, which at these speeds can happen in a flash.
I'd hate to admit that I've destroyed my headlights more than once in a championship.
Yeah, it can be punishing. I sort of joke a little bit, but it really can ruin your chances if you have an off that otherwise you would have just run with the damaged front end and without headlights. But
sometimes it matters.
Sometimes it matters. About 40 seconds away from the start, we will race for 40 minutes. And then that will be the end of the Twisted Imagination Tour.
A bittersweet end, like you said.
Absolutely. I want to take a quick mention. The team standings. Room Car Drive has just absolutely run away with it. There's no possible way anybody else can catch up. All right, here we are. Lights out. Here we go. This is Sveg.
Somebody in the back getting a bad start there. Good to see it didn't cause any collisions.
Uh-oh. We have a car off that looks like... Whoa! It looks like Schultz.
Dude, 3
Schultz
cars
has
off.
been... Yeah, it looked like Jordan White went off.
Oh,
Whoa!
no.
Big collision here
Carnage.
at the end. Schultz is involved, Vaughn is involved, Monroe's involved, Medina's involved, Charles and Robbins all involved in that crash. Some pretty heavy. Whoa! Not how they wanted that to go.
About 6 or 7 cars getting caught up in that.
Indeed. Man, Charles in that 603 looks like he really caught the brunt of the damage. That is an absolutely wrecked car. No broken headlights as we had feared, but man, that car is toast.
He's still going.
Oh yeah. Pasha Patterson wisely teleporting back to the pits. Gets going. Nico Medina caught up in that incident. Jordan White was one of the first cars off the line and off the circuit there.
His headlights are out.
Yes.
Or he just doesn't have them on. But it did look like he had a damaged windscreen, so maybe he did have damage to the front of his car.
I think that might be the case there. We saw Brett Vaughn had another incident. Oh, and yet another. Not having a good time at the start of this race.
Is able to safely rejoin, though.
Indeed. Let's take a look. It's quite the battle up at the front. Dave Martin here in 4th. Running a bit wide there. Probably made him nervous, but he survives. Oh!
Oh, who was that?
That was to Burner.
The burner.
I think, no. Yeah, I believe that was to Burner, the yellow car. A hard strike into the wall there. Chamberlain going off as well. You see these guys as they're pushing these race tires. You know, they were on softs, which can heat up a bit better for qualifying, but as they switch over to the race tires, I think we're seeing some hard adjustments. Here's Leader and Bowmeister running out in an early lead on the first lap here, or second lap? Second lap. Oh, coming into the second lap, here we are.
I was gonna say, end of the first, start of the second.
Yeah. It's such a long lap.
Right. Hey, maybe that comes into play here. Maybe some people forget about a corner or two.
It's always a possibility. Some of these drivers, especially the ones who hadn't practiced until practice, we saw them getting caught out by the fog, and that can really throw you off.
You might have him here.
Oh yeah, Leader's alongside Bowmeister.
Bowmeister had a bit of a moment there.
Yeah, but Bowmeister does have the inside line. I think he's able to
hold it off. He was able to
off.
catch it.
Mm-hmm. Leader's not going to let him forget it, though. See on your timing screens, Chamberlain and Bob Donut getting in amongst each other.
Oh, okay.
That was something. That's Jordan White, looks like. Or another
looks
white
like a bit
car.
of networking there.
Yeah, a bit of net code. We are Peter O'Brien in 3rd now. Just past Bray and Martin.
This is going to give Martin a run.
Yeah, in the top 5. They're 3 wide.
3 wide over the bridge. Oh my god. That was awesome.
You're on board with O'Brien. Oh, bumps into Bray there. Oh no, bumps into Martin there. Oh, and Bray spins. That he got in contact with Martin and spun himself around. Oh, in a really bad spot to do it too. He had to wait for all those drivers to go around.
Right.
Past him. Oh man. From competing for 3rd to sitting in 9th. He's going to really have to work to make that up. Goodness.
O'Brien's still keeping up with Martin there. Trying to get that position back.
Indeed. See the early apex line from Brian. Trying to carry as much speed as he can out of this corner going on to the straightaway. He dives down to the inside. Which becomes the outside. They're neck and neck, tied alongside each other. You know they're looking over at each other. Looks like Peter O'Brien has the overspeed. Gets Martin around. Looks like he'll hold it for the moment. Martin is close behind. He's in that draft. He'll be looking towards the inside. He got his nose in there just briefly. Didn't quite hold on long enough to make a move. Let's take
Brian
a look.
holding it, but he is putting on pressure.
Oh, Jason Chamberlain looks like
Chamberlain
had an off. Yeah.
Leader really wants his position, is really pushing everything here. But Bowmeister's doing a good job of keeping this position, keeping this lead. Maybe able to get a little bit of a run here.
Saw the draft as he followed close behind. He's got a nose in there, but that is going to become a
Does have
real
the
tough
outside
spot.
line.
Yeah.
He's getting there.
He wedges his way through. He's alongside. He's
Wow,
through. He's
what a
past
move.
him.
Beautiful move.
Wow, that was a textbook pass
I'll
along
say
the outside.
absolute masterclass.
And against Bowmeister, who does not give up easily.
No, I'm sure he'll definitely keep up.
Bowmeister won the last race at Ottawa, and leader was second place. These two have been really, really duking it out here and there since Bowmeister joined the championship in race 2. Now, leader has the... Whoa! Bowmeister, a
Looked
little
like
bit
he was
of
going for a send.
Yeah,
Does lose out on some time because of that, though.
he definitely does. Lost a second and a half. Uh-oh. Deus Monroe has a spin in Sector 3. Gets it going, but loses many, many positions. Pasha Patterson out of the drivers still on track. We did lose Charles after that major incident at the start. Pasha Patterson quite far behind everyone else. Not quite sure why he does not have the pace that he has had in previous races, but I don't know. Maybe he's struggling with the track temperature. Maybe it's just a track he's not used to. Maybe there's an issue with the setup. You can see he's really, really struggling for grip around these corners. Be curious to know. We might talk to him after the race and get his input. Bowmeister down to 2 seconds back. Looks like that bit of a bobble that he had really shook him. But of course, oh wow, yeah, running way wide into the grass.
Cold tires starting to catch up a little bit.
I think so. Ooh, Chamberlain having a brush with the wall there on a straightaway. I'm not quite sure what's going on.
Bit of a moment.
I think he might have some sort of an issue because he is losing speed rapidly. Yeah,
right,
he's pulling off the side.
coming up on him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think Chamberlain's having a mechanical issue. Just got passed there for position. Jordan White qualified so well. Was looking very good at the start of the race up until about turn 3. And actually I think about turn 2.
It was turn 2.
Yeah.
Just getting caught out in the carnage. Really unfortunate.
Absolutely. But, you know, he's shown that he has the pace to really make a move and make a difference in this race, but we'll have to see.
For sure.
We'll have to see if he's able to catch up because he is back way far behind from the leaders. Speaking of the leaders, leader is pulling away from Bowmeister even further. Bowmeister 3 seconds back now.
Well, yeah, really starting to lose time here.
Chamberlain dropping down the order still. I want to go back to that. It's been a interesting race for Chamberlain. I don't think he got caught out in the initial incident, but he was running mid-pack, and now there's something going on. He just does not have the pace that he
definitely
had,
suffered.
even in qualifying. Oh, and a spin
Another
there.
spin.
Man,
Really unfortunate to see.
absolutely.
Hopefully he can make it back to the pits and get back on track soon.
Hopefully, yeah. He's teleported back to the pits.
Yeah.
There was some... Oh, and a disconnect.
Really unfortunate to see that.
Indeed. Chamberlain had been sitting in... Let's see, what was the championship standings for Chamberlain? 13th in the points. He had 60, which is about worth one win. So he not a contender for the championship, but I believe he's been a consistent driver, if I remember correctly, from the start. So a fixture on this grid. But Jordan White takes the position. He'll be glad to. I want to take a look at the gap for Baumeister. They're rubber banding a little bit here in this braking zone, but he's back to about 3.5 to 4 seconds back. Putting down 2:41 in his last lap. Still a very quick time. But leader's doing 2:40s. I want to talk about Dave Martin for a moment. Running in 4th, this is his best showing yet.
Right.
He got a little bit better position at the end of Ottawa. Pulled off his best race yet in this series. And this time around, he's sitting just outside the top 3. Only 3 seconds back, less than 3 seconds back from O'Brien, who's 3rd in the championship. And he's holding his own. Nice to see.
Right, started in 6th too, so really great to see him make up these positions here. Hopefully we can see him catch up to O'Brien, see some close racing here.
His lap time improved. He did a 2:43 flat last time around. Did a 2:42.397 on this
Not
lap.
bad.
If he can keep that pace, he will almost certainly catch up to O'Brien. Actually, no. Peter O'Brien putting down 1 step ahead, actually. He put down 2:41.490. One of his best laps this race so far. My, how time flies. 25 minutes left to go in this 40-minute race. Whoa, Peter O'Brien getting very loose around that corner.
Good catch.
Yes, good catch indeed. Brett Vaughn had, I guess, some sort of an incident, but he has pitted in.
Unfortunate.
Okay, you can see Vaughn bouncing way down the order. Jordan White passing him for 13th. Man, I'm very curious as to what has kept Vaughn in the pits for so long.
Wonder if he had a spin, maybe he took a bit of damage. Hopefully he can get back out.
Yeah, it's quite possible.
Hate to see retirements in this series.
Indeed, especially with these sprint races. Oh, Saucepan Willie!
Oh,
A spin from Saucepan Willie.
speaking of damage.
Indeed. Loses 9th place. Gets it going again. That's in, I believe that is still Sector 1. No, Sector 2.
Yes, I believe so. Should be coming up on the bridge here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can see Saucepan Willie some front end damage there. It looks like he may have picked up some rear damage as well. Not quite sure if that was from this incident or it may have been from the start, which I believe he got caught up in. Monroe, I think, had an off of some form. Lost a position to Jordan White, who had mentioned had qualified very well, had a very good lap time, got caught up in the crashes at the start, brought him very, very far back. I think he was sitting in 15th or 16th place. He's worked his way up through 12th, and he'll have a bit more work to go as the drivers ahead are in seconds and tens of seconds ahead. Oh, Corey Robbins a spin.
Oh no.
A spin on the very final corner.
It is also a very deceptive final corner. I was definitely getting caught out by it a couple times. So understandable, especially in these temperatures and weather.
Explain the ways in which it's deceptive.
You really think you just need to turn in really early, and you really don't. You just kind of go out wide and follow in through that corner. At least that's what I was doing. That was helping me. But I don't know. Maybe I'm just weird. Who knows?
Yeah, it's one of those corners we mentioned. It starts out like a 90-degree bend, but then you're just turning a bit more than that.
Mm-hmm.
But then it also like widens at the very end, and so planning for the quarter ahead of time can be a bit tricky because it's like, do I plan for the tighter bend, or
Right.
do I plan to go a bit wider? And the real answer is you want to go right down the middle. But in the heat of battle, in the heat of moment, whenever it's negative 9 degrees Celsius and your tires
Right.
are so cold and have no grip, it's not always that simple.
Yeah, if you hit that inside, it's definitely pretty easy to spin there. Somebody going a little wide there.
Yeah, I believe that was probably Saucepan Willie behind.
I think it was Willie.
Let's see. Pasha Patterson drafting on Monroe, about to pass him. Or maybe not.
Just really trying to
holds him
slow the
off.
car down. Struggling a little bit with that.
Here we are, fender cam alongside Monroe. You're on board with Patterson.
Beautiful view.
You can really see him looking to the inside. He says, I'm going to pass you. It's just a matter of when. And is it here? Oh, it's definitely here. Monroe runs
for them.
wide, touches the grass, slows him down.
And that really started in the middle of the corner where he kind of had a bit of a, not really a slide, but a bit of a moment there, just having to catch it a little bit. Slowing him down for that last corner. Or for the end of the corner, excuse me.
Oh,
And into
Monroe
the pits.
to the pits. Wow. That's surprising.
I'm assuming this is to just fix a little bit of damage.
Quite possibly. Do you think it might have been tire strategy?
Yeah, it could be, honestly.
Because Jordan White has pitted as well at the same time.
It could be.
There goes Jordan White. avoiding the stream car Ford Transit.
Yeah, definitely looked like a change in strategy there from White.
James Leader coming into the pits as
I
well.
think this is just the strategy for today. Is you know, because we really haven't talked about it. You know, we really haven't seen a lot of pits this series, but seems like everybody's deciding that now's the time.
We've got 3 so far who have come into the pits. Actually 4. It looks like Brett Vaughn has come into pit as well. That's a curious strategy. I think that Baumeister burned before on that strategy. I think he's going to stay out.
I definitely think he stays out, but we never know. And he is getting a bit more slidey as we go throughout this race, so maybe these tires really just are falling off.
Yeah, it's quite possible. Dave Martin in 3rd place in this championship race. I think his first 3rd place, first time in the podium this series for Dave Martin. He's going to try to hold on to it.
Let's go, Dave!
But with James Leader right behind him, we'll have to see.
Fresh out of the pits too, on a new set of tires.
Absolutely. Yeah, O'Brien seems to be staying out. Baumeister staying out. Martin has not come in yet. No indication that he will. Carson Schultz, I didn't see it, but it registered on my timing screen that he had a collision with the wall. It didn't look too much worse for wear or lap time. So just a touch. Whoa, James Leader forcing his way down the inside. Really forcing his way down the inside there.
You know, he really wants to get this move done as quick as he can, just so he can try to catch back up to Baumeister, especially if he doesn't pit.
For sure. Here's that fender cam for the Leader this time. Trying to outbrake each other. Go around. Whoa!
Whoa!
That's a mix.
I was not expecting that.
That was. Oh,
I think that
who
was
that?
Monroe. Maybe.
Yes, yeah. Deus Monroe had a spin. Very nearly took one of the one of the top contenders out. My goodness, one or both. Oh wow.
That was a surprise.
Yeah, excellent quick thinking on Leader and Martin's part. They split the difference.
Right. Nobody losing too much time there.
No, wow, that was a masterclass in thinking on your feet. Oh no, Martin goes
Dave
wide.
hitting the wall.
Scrapes the wall. Leader's gonna take that. Probably pretty handily. It didn't look like a hit that would give you too much damage, not in a set of Corsa anyways, but
Right.
Martin's still gonna feel that. Brett Vaughn with a disconnect from the server. He had previously come into pit. We figured it might have been strategy, but I don't think he came out of the pit.
Let's say he had been in there for quite a while.
Yeah, it may have been damage that just would have taken too long to repair. Didn't feel it was worth it. It can be one of the tricky things about online championships, you know, with no sponsor money for just showing up. A lot of times if you're out of the championship points and you have a bad last race, sometimes it can be tempting to just, like, ditch. But
Right.
we always love to see the sportsmanship of drivers willing to stick it out for the love of the game. Tell you what, someone's sticking it out. Baumeister previously had kind of been outshone by James Leader, but Leader went into the pits. Baumeister did not. Sort of a reverse of what we saw in round 2. And now Baumeister is a good solid 20 seconds ahead of Leader.
Close battle for 6, actually. Bray getting it done, I think.
Yeah.
Schultz with a bit of an off there.
Yeah, I think Schultz lost control. He's been running a very loose car setup.
Whoa!
Whoa!
Speaking of loose. Just getting loose at that back end and just spinning it into the wall. Really unfortunate.
Commentators curse a little bit there. Sorry about that.
A little bit. We've all done it.
Yeah, he gets going straight again. Man, that was a rough one.
Hopefully he can keep it on track the rest of the race. But it looked like a hard hit. I'm sure he's definitely got a good bit of damage.
Yeah, if you take a look at this car, it's seen better days.
Oh, most definitely. Still a beautiful looking car, though.
Absolutely. It might be battle worn, it might be weary, but it's doing 255 kilometers an hour down the back stretch, anyways.
Hey, she get the job done.
Absolutely.
That's all that matters.
Getting the job done. Also, Peter O'Brien sitting in a respectable second place.
With a decent gap to leader, too.
Indeed. Reminding me of his finish at Bay Raceway. We finished second on that track as well. But it was James Leader who was the driver ahead, and O'Brien was behind on that one. Jeffrey Bray sitting in 6th place as we hit 12 minutes to go in this race. It's been a much less eventful second half of this race thus far in terms of battles. We've had some offs that have been interesting, but really only had a couple of notable battles to speak of.
Right, everyone just really settling into that race rhythm that we tend to get into a lot.
Absolutely. At this point, at this point we're racing the championship. As much as we are the race. Jeremy Mercer absent from this race, so your leader will most certainly lose that lead in the points. James Leader looking like a strong contender to get it done for points. Peter O'Brien is ahead of him on track position, but it's only by 1. So Leader has to either perform worse, or O'Brien has to really get a win, and has to beat Bouwmeester to do that. Oh, speaking of Bouwmeester, he lost a lot of time. I think Bouwmeester had an incident. He previously...
I think you're right.
He previously had a very clean car, and that's a damaged front end there.
You're definitely right.
And a damaged rear end. And O'Brien is only 1.6 seconds back down from 10. Yeah.
Those tires just really starting to wear out now. Maybe pitting was the right choice here.
It may have been. Remember, Peter O'Brien did not pit in, though, and he has been able to catch up. Leader is about 9.5 seconds back from Bouwmeester. Leader did pit in. When he came out of the pits, he was 20 seconds back with 20 minutes to go. Now he is less than 10 seconds back. He's about 7 seconds back now with
Leader's last lap there was, I believe it said 228.9. So really just putting him flyers here.
Yeah.
Excuse me, yes. Really putting him flyers with these fresh tires.
Absolutely, absolutely. And O'Brien getting ever closer to Bouwmeester. I think Bouwmeester, in his incident, picked up some damage that has slowed him down. Peter O'Brien really, really catching up to Bouwmeester. We're on board. Oh, wrong button.
Yeah, really just starting to catch up now.
Yeah, absolutely. Bouwmeester got kind of in a rhythm, in a lull, broke that trance just a tad. He'll catch up. I want to take a look. Oh boy, we've got a
Oh.
crash from Bob Donut, and that looks like Robbins. Yeah, that's Corey Robbins. Another spin. He cannot keep that car on track. Looks like he got into it with Bob Donut. And Saucepan Willie passes. It looks like Pasha Patterson might also take position away from Robbins. We'll have to see. Let's go back to O'Brien and Bowmeister fighting it out in the night. Wrong one. Keep hitting the wrong button there.
O'Brien really starting to push now, starting to see his prey close in.
Yeah, early apex here, diving down towards the inside, trying to get the longest acceleration zone coming out of the corner for this long straight. Every little bit counts. O'Brien had a better line, but I think he carried a little bit too much speed. He had to lift off. But it looks like O'Brien has been out-braking Bowmeister. Bowmeister's been better coming out of the corners.
Mm-hmm.
One of those things when it comes down to the driver, I think Bowmeister slightly has an edge based on what we've seen throughout the championship so far, but Peter O'Brien is no slouch.
Right, and this is definitely putting pressure on the Bowmeister. I'm sure he's definitely feeling this in the driver's seat, looking behind him, just seeing these headlights getting closer and closer.
Absolutely. If you followed my commentating set of Corsa Friends and Rom events with Global Enduro and the like, you'll know that I really tire out the adage, but it is very true, and it's worth repeating. It's always better to chase than to be chased whenever you're driving.
I know, I definitely feel the pressure.
Because O'Brien, he can see Bowmeister's line up ahead of him without getting distracted, and he can work off of it. You know, he's just right behind it. So if Bowmeister does something that starts to not work, O'Brien can do something different that will work. All the while, he's filling Bowmeister's mirrors, trying to intimidate him. There he is. Look at that. You're going to see that. Looking back. Whoa! Bowmeister with a slide.
There's that mistake I was talking about. You know, this is really putting on pressure.
Ooh. He holds on to it, but yep, pressure's on.
And all the meanwhile, I mean, leader is just getting closer and closer.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, O'Brien passes just barely. Whoa, going way wide. Very ballsy move to get that done, but he gets it
Close
done.
racing, keeping it clean. Love to see it.
That is passing on the outside through a place that a lot of drivers would call single file. Going through that quick S. Oh, man.
And now we can see leader really starting to come into that picture there. I mean, a couple minutes ago, just had about a 6-second gap, brought it down to about 2.
Yeah, 5 minutes left to go in. Yeah, 5 minutes left to go in this race. It's really shaping up here at the top. Peter O'Brien, third place in the points, 151 points for Peter O'Brien. James Leader, 159 points. He's in second. So without Mercer, that's first and second, Leader and O'Brien. Bowmeister in sixth, really wanting those points so he can crack the top 5, maybe even get on the podium. We'll see.
And these lap times, a 140, or sorry, excuse me, 241.3 from Peter last lap. But can we check leader? Because I mean, he's just lapping him with these new tires, really starting to push them. Yeah, 39.1. So definitely putting in work on these new tires. He's starting to really catch up here. He might get him in these next 2 laps.
He really is. O'Brien and Bowmeister both decided to stick it out during this race. Leader tried a different strategy, and it seems to be paying off. Maybe. Leader pitted from the lead and lost it to Bouwmeester. So he's trying to regain what he had before the pits, but he has definitely got the better car as a result as they go into the final 3 minutes and 30 seconds of this race. Can he get it done? Stay tuned, we'll have to see. Here's leader. Bouwmeester is ahead. O'Brien, who got the pass a few, actually not even a few laps ago, a lap ago, is ahead of him. They're coming up on a lap down car, so that's the car that you see up ahead of them.
Didn't think we'd see traffic playing into this fight, but here it is. Bouwmeester, you're really starting to struggle with these tires a bit.
Yeah, you can see Bouwmeester bouncing on corner exit there. You want the smoothest corner exit that you can possibly get so that you can carry as much energy from the wheels into the straight that you can.
I believe this should be our last lap, so
Yes, absolutely.
really gonna have to push here to get this position.
Peter O'Brien a second ahead. He's looking more and more comfortable, but leader is knocking on Bouwmeester's door. Here we are coming into turn 3 for the final time. Bouwmeester still holding off leader. Leader still knocking on the door.
Bouwmeester just has to hold off for this one last lap. He's really gonna have to fight for it. Leader's gonna make him work for it too.
Look at that. Wedging his nose in there. Doesn't quite get the speed. Whoa!
Oh no!
Oh my goodness!
Oh,
That's leader into the wall. Got into Bouwmeester. Bouwmeester was able to keep it in a straight line. Turned leader. I think leader turned himself into the wall there a little bit. Oh
Right.
man!
so unfortunate. He was doing so well.
And on the long straight, that's killer. That's a
Right.
loss of 3.5 seconds. 4 seconds now. Ooh.
O'Brien's just gonna run away with it now.
I think so. I think it's going to be O'Brien and then Bouwmeester, and now it's a bit more solidified. Leader in third.
Still have a couple more corners left. You never know in these races. We've seen all kinds of crazy things happen this season. A wonderful season. Everyone doing a great job. Really sad to see it come to an end.
Indeed, but what a journey it has been. Here we are. Peter O'Brien second in the points so far, 151 points. It looks like he is going to take home the win. Had a lot of always the bridesmaid, never the bride sort of thing. He almost pulled out a win in round 2. He gets it done this time around. Peter O'Brien, your winner. Bouwmeester takes home second place. Leader with damage takes home third. And the battle for fourth is here. Dave Martin had fourth place. Taberner started knocking on the door at the very end. Didn't quite have enough time, but kudos for trying. That rounds out your top 5. That's Daniel Taberner. And Jeffrey Bray looks like he's going to bring home 6th place, although he's yet to finish. Wow.
Quite a spectacular end of the race. Great to see everyone getting through, though.
Absolutely. Let's take a look. I want to talk to O'Brien, Peter O'Brien. If he is still here in the server.
Let's see if we can't drag him in real quick.
Carson Schultz with the victory drift there at the end. Pasha Patterson bringing home 8th place. Well, if we cannot pull O'Brien, let's see if we can pull in Bowmeister.
Yeah, give me 1 second. Let me see.
Sure, sure.
Hello?
Hello,
Hello, hello.
Hi.
Blizzard, take us away.
Well, first off, congrats on the win. Not only in the race, but I believe the championship, if I stand corrected.
I think James asked me the same question, and my response was, I don't know. I haven't looked at it in like 3 weeks. So I'm gonna hope you're right for my sake. So thank you. I appreciate it. It was a really hard race. Crashed in the first corner. It was really good.
Right. And strategy. Can we talk about that real quick? Because the leader came in from the pits, decided to go into that new tire strategy. Just didn't quite work out for him. Was strategy something that had been talked about before between all the drivers?
Not particularly, at least not for this race specifically. The only reason why we questioned softs was because the track was literally 0C. I'm pretty sure Pasha put in a negative number. So it was so cold that it didn't really matter what tires you were using. They were just going to be cold. So you didn't have to worry about overheating issues like you normally would with the softs. So I think it was a good play from James to do that. But in order for it to have worked out, he would have needed to get in front of Luke probably like a lap or two faster. Because he was only, 2 or 3 seconds off of us on the final lap.
Right. Well, let's see. Excuse me while I look something up.
You were all good.
Let's see.
You guys happen to catch Dave go 3 wide with me and Jeff?
Yes, we
Found
saw
the-
that.
Yes,
on-
we did.
Across
That
the
was
bridge.
awesome.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
I thought somebody was gonna get clipped by the head that wall there.
I did too. I was like, I want to back out, but I didn't. I probably should have, but
Frankly, I was not certain that the 3 of you guys weren't gonna. I didn't know that bridge was entirely 3 cars wide.
I
Right.
didn't either. No, I definitely did not.
We all learned something today.
We tested
Yeah.
that. We tested.
Apparently, we did test it accidentally, but we tested it.
That.
Right.
Don't say you didn't learn something, audience.
Was beautiful to watch.
Thank you. It was scary in the moment.
Oh, I'm sure.
let's see. So it looks like 159 points from James Leader, getting second place is going to be 216 points. And then...
Well, James finished third.
Oh my
because
goodness. Yeah.
there was a
not
lag
second.
spike or something.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. So let me recalculate that. So...
Let's try this again.
I'm doing math, which is not my
Trying to
strong
figure
suit.
it out. Yeah, I probably should have done this beforehand.
Okay, so that's 213 points for James Leader after finishing in third, and Peter O'Brien with 151 points, getting 60 points. That brings you to 211. So Leader is the championship winner by 2 points.
Wow.
There it is. Yeah, sounds about right.
Very close racing, though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And-
It was close for sure.
After all of this time for the championship win to come down to 2 points, we have some very, very close competitive racing.
Yeah, no, for sure. The front of the pack is always competitive, whether it be on pace or massive crashes where everyone has to basically restart. But we find a way to fight each other one way or another, so that's good for sure.
It's great to see it, and I'm sure we'll see more of it in the future. Really hoping, because we love this season. It was great to watch, great fun commentating as well. Thank you to our lovely commentator and broadcaster. We appreciate you and the work you do, because you've done a great job.
I do have the championship final standings. They have come in now. So, officially, not just my napkin math, James Leader has won the championship with 213 points, followed by Peter O'Brien with 211. In third place with 176 points, Luke Bomeister actually pulls off a podium for the championship. Luke Bomeister, after having missed the first round, did such strong performances in the final 3 that he was able to pull off third. Jeffrey Bray was in fourth with 174 points. Just barely got knocked off the podium by Bomeister there. And Jeremy Mercer, absent from this race, but present and very strong in all the other races, pulls off a 5th place with 166 points. I just want to say congratulations on 2nd place, and best of luck to you in the future.
Yeah, thank you very much, man, and keep up with the broadcast. I think everyone here's liking it.
Very cool, very cool. I do want to bring in Pasha, actually. You guys might know him as Zero Bandwidth from all over the place in sim racing, frankly. And we just wanted to bring him on. It was recommended by Noble in our chat. So
let's see if I can't get that done for you.
Yes, let's take a look. Howdy, howdy. Hello, Pasha.
Hello.
You are on stream. We just wanted to say hi and get a few words from you to close out the season.
Well, this was an interesting race and a really interesting season. You know, I had this idea that there are a lot of good fantasy tracks out there, and they don't get as much love as some of the real world stuff, because they're real world tracks and everybody wants to go on those. But there's some really good gems out there in the fantasy track world, so figured we'd get a handful together and try it as a whole season, and I think it worked pretty well. Practice could have been of benefit to some folks, including me. I think I particularly last week at Ottawa and tonight. I could have turned a few more laps than I did. Came with a bit too much confidence, but we did okay. Got into the practice sessions, learned it as well as we could, and I think it was a lot of fun.
Well, from our position in the stands, it absolutely was a blast. Thank you for having such great ideas, because this was a fun one, and we look forward to the next one.
Yeah, and thanks to Plebeian for giving me this hosting opportunity. And yeah, next season should be good as well. Will be announced this week.
Woohoo!
We can't wait.
All right, keep an eye out. Join that Discord to get involved. That's the beauty of sim racing. It is a community, and it's quite accessible. And just on a final word myself, I just want to say that I really, really enjoyed all the racing that went on in this championship. We've got some fantastic drivers, a lot of really close racing, a lot of good camaraderie in this. Everybody races hard, and most of them practice, but nobody takes themselves too seriously, which has been awesome and refreshing. So, Blizzard, any final thoughts before we close out the championship?
I just want to say thank you to everybody for putting this on, and just thank you to Plebeian for creating this amazing, great community. I've been welcomed here, and there's nothing I love more than racing, and to share with everyone it's a great thing. So thank you to everyone.
Awesome. Well, sadly, it is time for us to go. And so we will bid you all farewell. Until next time, I've been Cody. He's been Blizzard. Adios.
Bye.